All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy BOJ, and as you can see, I got a guest today, and this is the first guest that I've ever had on my channel, and he is a good buddy of mine from across the pond, as they say. This is Ryan Lomax Glover, aka the RG Trader himself. How are you feeling, my brother?
BOJ, 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 BOJ.
My man.
No, I'm good. I'm good, BOJ. Yeah, Ryan Lomax Glover here. RLG Trading, also known as the G Trader.
Yes, sir.
Peace. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'm so happy to have him on this episode today. We've seen a lot of things in this space, man, and one of the things that we most recently seen firsthand was how crazy this space can really be. When we're talking about, and of course I'll preface just a little bit, we've known each other for a while.
Since June last year.
Yes, sir. Since June, and since the beginning, really, of my journey here on YouTube. I started in YouTube in May, and it wasn't very long after that we got in contact with each other. And of course,
Ooh.
you know, when things are just starting, it's weird. You don't really know people, especially, me being from the States, you being from UK, when you're first getting started. And I'll tell you honestly, I didn't get into this YouTube game to really like network, really. It's just something that happened along the journey. And you meet people that really kind of are like-minded with you. And it's really hard to find people that are like-minded in general, period, no matter what you're doing. But to find it in this space early in my journey, and just to be able to bounce things off of each other all along the way, we've come across some things that have paid us decent. We've come across some things that have totally scammed out on us and ran off very quickly, made us even feel like, man, I don't even really want to touch in this space no more. And then we had, I'll call it Hollywood style
Casinos.
Grandiose with CEOs, quote unquote. And the most recent one we have been a part of together was Futurestrade.io. And in this futures trade journey, man, at first, when we first came across it, it wasn't anything that wasn't something that we haven't seen before, right? A 1 to 3%er, had the plans that you could say were sustainable, in the hype space for maybe a month, maybe 2 months. Nobody really knows, but 1 to 3% you feel okay with. But I think
especially BOJ in an upward trajectory market at that time, once it was created, any sort of platform that's created while the market is going like that, then it's got the paramount and the possibilities of reaching 6 to 12 months, 2 years. Yeah. It depends. The floodgates can open on opportunities like this.
That's right.
And I first came across you, even going off subject a little bit, right from the days of Watermine. That's how I came across you.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, wow, who is this boy just keeping it real? He's just telling it how it is. He's not here sugarcoating anything. And I respected that. And I think your channel is very unique in this space. And people can gravitate to that, BOJ. And, and I see the opportunities that you bring to your channel. Some I get involved in, some I don't.
Yeah.
And, I monetize my risk when you do that. And also you can appreciate that I've shared opportunities to you. Yes. And you've got a part of under me.
Yes.
And that's how we're networking together. And what we've seen recently in futures trade, I'm actually seeing a community now coming together off the back of significant losses. And that's what we've got to do in this space, BOJ. We have to monetize our risk. We have to give that risk management, and we can only invest what we can afford to lose.
That's right. Those are the golden rules, man. And those golden rules are fine. I'm finding them to be more universal in life in general. You know what I'm saying? When you're thinking about investing, even in the stock markets, even in Forex, you know, the different opportunities that we have, real estate, you know, you never want to over leverage yourself. You know, you never want to put your family in a position to where they're going to be hurting because of a decision that you made. And of course, we feel better about certain things than others, you know. And one thing that I definitely want you to talk about some point in this talk is that community that has come up from this Futurestrade thing, because like I've told you personally, you know, the stuff that goes on that was going on with the refund process and all that stuff, it got a little bit over my head because one, I put it in hype category. And then once you put it in hype category, for me, it's like, you're not going to see that money back. You know, I just was like, boop, that's over. Let's move on to the next thing. But there was real people involved with this. It wasn't just the regular hype crowd, you know. It was the people that it felt reminiscent of Watermine. When I first got into Watermine, I was so naive. I thought that Watermine was something that was like could last years. So
a HYPERFUND.
Oh man, like a HYPERFUND times 3, 10. You know, it was easy to pull in and pull out, and we all know HYPERFUND has been a little difficult sometimes, but it felt like a Watermine to me for the sheer reason that a lot of regular people, and I'll say regular people in the sense of they're not familiar with hypes. They're not familiar with these platforms dealing with crypto. We're talking about people that never bought crypto before.
Yeah.
This was their first exposure to purchasing crypto, just to be a part of Futurestrade. That is how I felt about Watermine. So I could feel that pain. I put 30 grand into Watermine trying to get a goal of 1,000. I told my wife, I was like, we get $1,000 a day. There ain't nothing we can't do.
Quit my job.
What job? I'll be doing Watermine forever, singing the praises of Watermine or whatever, you know. But in that lesson, when it went away, of course, and I had been making $1,000 for maybe 6 days at that point when it went away.
Yeah.
So it felt really good. But I learned a lesson. I learned that nothing lasts forever. And then I learned that if there's one of these out here like this, there's gotta be some more.
Definitely.
If this was either this
coming across our desk, as we say, coming across
the desk, you know. And I was not a top referrer in Watermine. You know, that wasn't this referring space didn't start happening till I started sharing my journey, of course. But I want to talk about that community that's been cultivating with what's going on with Futurestrade, because there's so much that has happened since Dylan got on that screen crying.
Well, that's it, BOJ. And even before he got on the screen crying, as a trader myself in the Forex market, 3 years ago, successful trader, you know, I did really well in Forex, and I even built a product myself, BOJ. What was it now? 2 years ago, just before COVID and Brexit.
Wow.
I built a product myself, and I was selling my signals, my education in the Forex market only for $200. I was teaching people all about lot size orders, risk management, teaching them about dojis, inverted hammers, upward trajectory markets, sell-offs. I was teaching them everything for $200. And I had real results that I could show. Yeah. None of this like PDF stuff and screenshots. I was showing people my real results from my back office, and I got quite, you know, it was a community thing that I was doing to help people genuinely.
Yep.
And we did really well, but then Brexit hit, COVID hit, and my strategy was struggling. Every time our Prime Minister was speaking, Boris Johnson, the market was going against me, and I became a break-even trader in the Forex market.
Yep.
So what I did, BOJ, is I dusted myself off. I refunded all my members and told them, look, we're in a market that I'm struggling. You know, we're having good profit days, then we're having a losing day, and I'm looking at it over the period of the week, and I was break even, and I didn't want to be taking, you know, $100 off them for the next 6 months and being a break-even trader.
Right.
So they respected that. So that is someone who's real.
That's
who's,
right.
You know,
that's right.
Not an actor, not behind a thing that's not tangible, not real.
Yeah.
So I moved into crypto trading, and I didn't want to offer any sort of signals on that. I wanted to just go and do it for myself. And I got involved in passive income opportunities again, much more. And I tried to find trading opportunities back behind passive income. And obviously, when I saw Futurestrade from you, and I dissected everything that obviously you was doing on yours, I didn't jump in straight away. I think I jumped in on week 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said, oh, mate, you've got a lot in common with this Dylan Carnell, and, you know, he trades, and I looked at him and I looked at his results, and a bit naive of me, I should have probably asked for more. I should have asked for back office results in his Binance account.
Right.
You know, I went off a PDF report. I went off some screenshots, but the way he spoke, the way the company was structured, I saw the member base growing. I saw what you was earning on a daily, you know, income. And I was like, okay, I'm going to jump into this thing. But before I did, I got on a call with him.
Yeah.
And we had an hour conversation. We talked about Forex. We talked about crypto. He talked so well analytically about the market and how he sees it and how he envisages it. And what he said was what I felt. And what I said is what he felt. And I was like, wow. This guy is going to be trading for us, and his results kicked my ass. You know, I've done all right, but his results kicked my ass. So this is big. Yeah. So I, you know, for me, my risk management, I put in 11.5K, and I went with it, and I shared the opportunity. Yep. I brought it to my YouTube channel, like yourself, and I put a post on Facebook, and a lot of people was like, "Wow, what's this?" And I had big investors looking at this, and they got on a call with Dylan, and they were blown away with how he spoke and what, you know, they was offering. And the rest is history. We know what happened. And, you know, it has to be, unfortunately, a lesson in this space, because for me, the 1%, 2%, 3% BOJ, with what he showcased with his trading results, it was real. Yeah. You know, I've done 44% in a day. I've done 100% in 2 days. Yeah. For me, off my 10K trading account. Yeah. So it was real. And I thought, yeah, this is doable. And then the 4% was implemented. And I'm like, yeah, this is unbelievable. I'm earning 4% every day or 5 days a week. And I don't know, mate. Then I saw the 200% ROIs and the 150% ROIs in 6 days. Yeah. And then I was seeing this in a market that was trending sideways, and at any point we could see a significant drop. Yeah. So you're always hoping, is he going to be ready for this? How is he going to protect us? And he didn't. Yeah. You know, and
it's I want to touch on this because I'll be the first one to say my experience in trading, I'm what you call a baby trader. The trading that I've been doing has literally been me trading my crypto for a chance to earn more in some of these platforms. Nothing about pips and all of these different things is foreign to me. So I never felt compelled to have a Zoom call with Dylan, Daniel, whatever his name is. I never felt compelled to have a Zoom call with him. Starting out, it was just an opportunity that Crypto Muscle put out. You know what I'm saying? Just like every other one that he's ever put out. And he even did a Zoom call with him.
That interview was filmed and it was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. And I was like, there is a literal face. We're not talking about, you know, because people, there's another platform called ATTIORA.
And he lives near me, I was thinking. He lives near me.
Yeah, that was another thing. And I remember telling you that. I was like, man, this guy, he's somewhere close. And I don't know. I just felt like you both had that connection with trading. It never clicked for me. All that the trading stuff, it hasn't clicked for me just yet. I'm learning through some other platform, through IPC kind of. I'm learning a little bit about what goes on in trading. But for him to be seemingly so knowledgeable of what was going on, the space he was supposedly trading in, the futures aspect of trading, which is to me sounds different than the regular trading. It's not just like it's kind of like a safe proof way of trading, if I'm understanding it correctly. It's like a safer way to trade. So for me, all the simpleton stuff was covered. And then for you guys, the traders, all of that was seemingly covered as well.
Yeah.
And it really just, when it got to that point, I tell you myself, my belief level was there. I never will put $10,000 of my own money into a hype like a BITSLOP or something that, like, we just know 10% a day or something like that. You'd never do something that crazy unless you have like 500,000 sitting away somewhere just chilling, right? Yeah. Everything that I saw about Futurestrade made me feel comfortable doing that. And not only, them paying that out, that was a totally different experience. They were paying. We got platforms all the time that don't pay. This one was paying for almost 2 months with a face, promising things, and really getting to real people. And that's what really took this thing to another level. And people ask me all the time, because I promote so many hypes, do I feel bad like when things like this go away? And of course, we all understand the risk, or we're trying to understand the risk that any of these things can be gone at any time, any day, no matter what we're talking about. I even rose the example yesterday. Apple could decide to close its doors today. Yeah. And whatever contingency plan they have in place would have to come into effect, and investors would be pissed. But of course, they'd have to get over it, right? So with this, I think, and I definitely want you to talk about what that happened after Dylan decided to go away, because there's so much to unpack there. With a platform like this going away, what do you think the issues are with being able to move on?
Well, obviously, BOG, I brought that video to YouTube when I was in my car. Mm-hmm. And I did that I said in that video, my name's much more greater than Futurestrade. And I know there was part of my network who got involved. I will never ever say any names, but I know that person brought in a niche network to my downline. And they come from a professional background in this country. Yes. So I did that video to, how can I put it, BOJ, that I'm real. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sorry. Yeah. I am sorry, because we've been hook, line, and sinkered. Yeah. And that was the most important thing for me. That was directed at a certain individual who had a key network under me, but also it was for everybody. And I knew that I was going to get a bit of I got a lot of a backlash from it, and I got called a lot of bad names. Yeah. But from that video, moving on, I did get a lot of apologies off the back of it, because we know what obviously happened after Daniel cried and said there was a letter from authorities and we have to close and stuff. And then there's been everything else that's been said, that he couldn't handle the crypto crash and blah, blah, blah. But he has been networking as Dylan, or this organization, or these individuals, or this person, Daniel. He has been connecting with, well, I'm going to call out his name. I don't think he'll mind. Marty Glover. Same name as me. Yeah. And I even mentioned, I mentioned his name in my video.
He's not a cousin of yours, is he?
I don't know, mate. But, he lives only 40 minutes away from me. Yeah. And I'm sure me and him are going to meet up in the future, because he's apologized to me. He said he's sorry for calling me a wet one, whatever else he called me. But he was there protecting his team. He didn't, we're almost becoming denial. That's something that we've invested so much time into, so much money, that this guy in his car, this Ryan Lomax Glover, I get it. Who's he think he is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get it, but I had to do it. I couldn't help but not do it. And I came home and I played it to my wife and I said, I'm putting this out there. And she's like, wow. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some, for this. And, to see what Marty's doing now, he's obviously tried to, he's been using selective words, I know, this has become a soap opera. It has become a demanding, like, I want this, I want this money and I'm prepared to, and I don't want to say too much, BOJ, I'm going to skirt over what he's doing to get this money.
Yeah.
But he's got some money and he's paying out people.
Yeah.
From this wallet, USDT wallet, and he's paying out people. And not everyone is going to receive funds because he's only got so much.
Right.
And I've even seen he did a Facebook Live today, BOJ, and he was emotional.
Really?
He did an emotional Facebook Live because he's got people reporting his Facebook.
Oh.
So he's only limited to, connect a certain amount, and he's created this group. He's obviously people are reporting his Facebook because they're not getting paid out. Wow. But he's only paying 20%. But he's tried to do something and give something into the community of this significant loss.
Yeah. Because that doesn't happen. That don't happen at all.
Doesn't.
So I and when I first got, and I know we were both contacted on YouTube by a person that was commissioned to be the developer of this token that was promised to us during the tenure here there at Futurestrade. And when he reached out, of course, you're always a little bit skeptical about people that are reaching out to you. You don't really know who they are, what they know, or what their intentions are.
No.
But when this person contacted me, and he contacted you as well, and he had all these details about what Dylan Daniel Double D was trying to do, he made it. His opinion was that he didn't believe that he was trying to scam or leave. His opinion was that the market he just messed up, something that he did messed up, and he just wasn't able to deliver some of the things that he had promised. Of course, in my side, it was like, dude ran off with millions of dollars. That's what happened. Or him or whoever was paid him to be the face or whatever the case is. They just ran off with millions of dollars. And
BOJ, we're trained and taught as traders that we have to implement on every trade a stop loss.
Stop loss. That's what I've heard. Yes.
And
yeah,
we can't be trending around 42K, 43K, and he's obviously got a trade that he's going long. He's going long to 70K. Then, but have a stop loss in for 38 grand, 39 grand.
Yeah.
To protect funds. And it was all becoming, we're going to extend these 200% ROIs. We're going to extend the 150% ROIs. We've got no withdrawals on weekends, blah, blah, blah. And I get that. I get that protection.
Right.
Because I actually woke up that morning, the day before it all went wrong, and thought, what are they going to be doing to protect us from this significant drop? Or has Dylan caught this trade, and has he made us multi-millions of dollars? Has he put in a sell order with a high leverage, a big margin? And are we going to get millions of dollars, and then we're going to find a new bottom, and then we're going to go back up? Has he read the market?
Yeah.
Are we in now a new space? Is this company now going to platform? It didn't. It plummeted, and it ended with every single story behind it.
Yeah. And
that's why I thought, they're not trading. They're not trading. They've just exited, and it makes me think if at that period of time where the new 200% ROIs were implemented, the 150s, and then Bitcoin went up to 52K, and then new members come in, and Bitcoin went to 55K, and Litecoin and Ethereum, all them coins that were adding to this system, is going up. Yeah. We reached 60K, we reached 70K, Bitcoin reaches 100K. There was nothing stopping this business running for 6, 7, 12 months.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be pissed.
Yep.
You wouldn't be pissed. We would all be happy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's very important, companies like this, the way they enter the market, at what stage as well. Like, if you want to talk about Garali.com, BOJ, I missed that one.
Oh, yeah.
And you was on that train. You was on that train, but you was on that train where, you know, crypto was going up and doubling your Bitcoin in 4 days.
That was I think more than anything, that was the thing. It was the way, and to talk about the system of Garali.
Is it okay for me to say Futurestrade became a Garali.com with a face?
Almost, because there was so much that went on with Garali that was more technical. The whole interface of it was completely automated. And when Futurestrade, of course, it got to the point where it felt real manual, right? It's like, all right, I might get it. I don't even know if we ever got batch IDs nothing instant. Everything seemed like it was like, all right, if it clears in 24 hours, then cool. You know, they said 24. I like to say 24 to 48, as long as I get paid, right? Garali.com was a fully automated like bot system. From the time you didn't even have to make a registration. You literally registered with a Bitcoin address.
Yeah.
And it was something that it taught me a lot about what technology is out there to run these kind of platforms. But what it was doing, the algorithm or whatever it was created, it made it so easy for people that knew nothing about investing in cryptocurrency to be a part of it.
Yeah.
They could have Cash App Bitcoin and just shoot it in there, and it shoot money right back to your Cash App after that 100 hours. So, of course, it just gained so much popularity in an even shorter amount of time that when it left, I mean, there was people putting whole Bitcoins in there. So I know that's not even compared to some of the numbers I've seen in Futurestrade. Futurestrade had hundreds of thousands. We're talking about closer to millions from single people or single entities.
$750,000.
So they were different in different ways. But definitely, I would say if there was a more notable exit, Garali exited just like any other hype.
Yeah.
Futurestrade went out and tried to go out in the blades of glory. They tried to do some things that were like, is he really crying? Does he really care? Like, is he really trying to make this work? Is he really trying to make it better? It left some optimism in the air. It made people even not want to realize what the truth of the situation was. It made people want to pull up at Buddy's house and say, look, you know, you don't deliver for the people, I can't guarantee what happens to you. And I'll leave it at that, because that's what I've seen just in, you know, dialogue in these Facebook groups and Telegram groups.
Well, that's it. You're right. And obviously
it's so much different when there's a face, you know.
There is. And that face now is, well, I don't know, obviously, how Marty's in touch with him. But, you know, the Facebook's down, the Facebook page is down.
Yeah, everything's just about down now.
The Telegram groups are filtering out slowly.
Yep.
And it's a lesson to all of us.
Yes.
Just a lot more expensive to others than some others.
Yep.
You know, them offices didn't come to fruition. The 200% ROIs, 150s, I don't think any of them got paid out. The academy didn't happen.
Nope.
So it failed on all levels. And to blame crypto, then just get everybody to invest in USDT. So then the market's not going to move, and you just trade off them funds. So obviously, you know, the funds aren't significantly going to drop. But obviously multiple things. It's been multiple things, and we can't keep making heads and tails of it. We've just got to kind of respect like Marty, and even I feel sorry for the admins. I do.
Yeah.
I do, because they were just members. I don't believe there was a part of it. You know, they just...
Me neither. I don't believe that those people, because I've seen this kind of stuff happen before. And just reflecting back on Watermine, there were some real people here in America that got behind Watermine. And I know that feeling, because I was watching them prior to even knowing this online space called Hypes.
Yeah.
They were people in the network marketing sector that had done and grown huge, massive teams. I've been in network marketing since I was 19. So I've been seeing some of these people, and they're people that look just like me. And they're promoting something like this, and they've talked about how things haven't worked before, but this is working. And then Watermine lasted 9 months. So you can imagine how many people made a sweet, sweet amount of money in Watermine. But a lot of this is about, a lot of the hype space is about timing. A lot of the hype space is about taking massive action, if you're that person that gets things out there. And for a community, I think that we're better off. I know more people are hurt financially than others, but on a mindset tip, I think we're all a lot better off for experiencing something like this if we take it the right way. Some of us will never trust an online platform like this again, and I completely understand that feeling, and they're totally justified in that feeling, because when things happen like this, it makes you not want to trust anything at all.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's some things that we can't control. We couldn't control the coronavirus. You guys couldn't control Brexit and the things that were going on with the Prime Minister and how it was affecting your market. Of course, I couldn't, affect Donald Trump being the president of the United States and what that was bringing to the climate of racial culture here and different things like that. There's a lot of things that we can't control. But the thing that we can control is how we bounce back from certain things like this, and how we put things in place to make sure that it never happens again. We create our own stop loss in our own personal lives to make sure that if this is rock bottom, then I know what it feels like. It doesn't feel great, but there's another level of gear that we have, I think that we all got, that we can tap into and really rebuild. And this community seems like it's in that phase right now. It's in a rebuilding phase. It's a decision point phase. Is it, do we continue to find things like this and band together and see if there's something that we can, benefit and all get back to where we were? Do we just decide that, this is not my space, I'm going to go back to work, and, wealth and the dream is no longer there? Because I know people that, that could have put $500,000 in here, and if they would have, their whole dream of wealth would have been over, because they don't have the mindset of bounce back. It was kind of like silver spoon for them. They were just like, not all of us were blessed with money. Not all of us were blessed with opportunity. Some of us had to scratch and claw, and I know you've had to scratch and claw. And for an opportunity like this, for a lot of people, they had to scratch and claw to even touch Futurestrade.
When one door closes, another door opens, or you've got to make that door open. You've got to bash that door down. And
that's right.
I, as well as this online space, I have another online business, which I run an entertainment company here in the UK that supplies fire dancers, stilt walkers, bunny girls, naked butlers, strippers. And I've had that business now for 11 years, but I lost that business through COVID. And, I come from a performing background, and, that's my bread and butter. My business was my bread and butter. And obviously the online space is, for me, I've always diversed in my portfolio, BOJ, and, as an entrepreneur mindset, that's what I'm about. And I don't just rely on, or I didn't just rely on Forex. I have my entertainment company. And I also do events for big companies like such as Samsung and iPhone. I do events for Citroen and Peugeot and DS, big car manufacturers. I'm a brand ambassador for a lot of products, and I promote them. And I'm very, I've got that high regard reputation in that field. And if I was just sat here every day doing this, I'd get bored. Money isn't everything. And I hope you don't mind me saying BLJ, but I know you're a professional singer.
Yes, sir. So I know all about the effects of COVID and what it did on our industry.
And we know the game. We know what we have to do for our families. And my wife, she's a professional singer as well, like you. And she lost her business for 18 months, and she went and worked in a care home. And she dusted herself off, and she was helping people through the latter stages of their life. That's what's real. And I'm all about being real and bringing the kind of content that's the bright numbers and stuff, and what we can do, 10% referral commission and blah blah blah. But please just do your own research, do your own due diligence. Only invest what you can afford to lose, and diverse. I don't know, have a jumbo sale, garage sale at weekends, and try and sell something on eBay or Amazon, or if you've got a talent, express yourself, and then get involved in an online opportunity.
And
multiple streams of income.
I mean, one of the things that I've told friends of mine, and I'll let you know this, not many people in my personal circle even know the effect that I have on the online space right now.
My mom doesn't.
And I kind of did that on purpose, because if they knew, they wouldn't leave me alone. But at the same time, they don't see the importance of stepping out on their own talents and things that God gave them, and using them in a space that can really affect not just the people around them, but the world. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea that me getting on here and talking about Watermine and my experiences in other platforms, that I would have this kind of effect. And I'm sure you didn't know that either. You probably didn't. When you started, you probably just wanted to share this with people.
Well, what happened to me, BOJ, is when I was introduced to internet marketing, I was involved in a system called Traffic Monsoon 7-8 years ago.
Okay, tell me about that.
And this was like advertising packages, and this were big. Do you know what I mean? I still think to this day, it was probably one of the biggest companies ever to hit the online space. And I introduced that to my friends and family. Because I didn't know about. I'm like, what is this? How do I earn? How do I buy this $5 pack, $50 pack? But that's $50 pack turns to $55. So if I buy a multiple amount of packs, I start compounding and I build up my packs.
Right.
How's this even real? So getting paid in advertising. And that company lasted over 2 years.
Wow.
And they were getting paid out in, they were using PayPal.
Yep.
And then they moved into a Payza app. This was all like, I mean, Bitcoin was out and stuff, but, they wasn't using that as a payment gateway then.
Right.
Anyway, I don't really want to speak too much for legal reasons and stuff. But,
no, whatever wherever you want to stop.
It came down, and I was like, my best man, my best friend, he lost not loads, but he lost $300, $400, and two of my work colleagues lost $300, $400, and one of my friends, he lost like $500. So they all lost, and about £2,500-3,000 my downline lost. And I had to apologize, and they went to seminars with me. So we went to seminars. Big speakers and stuff. And man. And then I obviously dusted I thought, I'm not getting involved in anything like that again. But then I thought, well, what if, I kind of did this and, promoted it with like-minded people, not friends.
Right.
And then I did another couple of systems, and I made some money, and I made sure that I paid all my friends back. And that's what I did. I'm sorry that you lost money in Traffic Monsoon. And I never promoted another offer to them ever again.
But that's stand up though. Like that's not something that you see a lot ever. You know what I'm saying? Some people will just be like, well, you know, even I've been guilty of that. I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I'm just like, well, it is what it is. You lost, I lost. Let's just move on. You know?
Yeah.
And for you to make that step and say, you know what, whatever I gotta do to make sure y'all are taken care of from this experience that I brought you guys into, I'm gonna make sure I take care of you guys. That's stand up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're all good people, and like two of those people actually find me work in the event industry. So it's like I've got to make sure they're all right. Do you know what I mean?
You're gonna keep seeing them, so
yeah, and that's true.
Yep. I hear that, man. Whew. So
I know.
So I want to do a quick recap of what, and you tell me if there's more to add to this. I want to start with the crying. So there was crying. We're back on Futurestrade for all of those that were following us through our many parts of this conversation. Futurestrade was here for about 2 months. It let out a lot of plans, different opportunities. At first they were paying, and then the things that he was promising weren't happening. We were talking about a contract. I never got a contract. Nobody, I don't believe anybody got a contract, an NDA. We were promised the completion of 10K plans, 20K plans, 30K plans, $50 plans. I mean, some of those didn't even cash out completely. We were promised a trading academy from the master trader himself. Never happened. Even though we even saw blueprints of the trading academy being built inside of that. I know it. It's this platform called, I'm forgetting the name right now. It's Kajabi or something like that. But he was building the class, and I've taken some classes in that platform. So that just kind of built it built on top of the belief level. He was a face. He was kind of showing trades. I'm sure you remember this. He was showing in December, before Christmas, we were getting PDFs in the back office that you could download about what his notes were from his trades. That stopped happening on like the 29th of December. Never saw an updated. I checked that. I did check that periodically. And I never saw an updated PDF or anything like that that shared updated information. So the red flags were continuing to show. And it was almost like just because there was a face, we were all blinded by all of them. We couldn't see them. I couldn't even see them. I was like, oh, he's 20K? All right, how do I get 20K? Oh, it's a 30K plan? All right. I was over here looking so naive. And I know I was not alone. I know a lot of people felt that way, from Zoom calls to Telegram conversations to Facebook planned lives. It really was a grandiose experience that he put us all through.
I did reach down to my downline, and I did indicate that this is a hype now. Be careful. Crypto out. Crypto out. Crypto in, crypto out.
Yep. And you beat me. You beat me in that, because to be honest with you, the more plans he rolled out, I was literally trying to find a way to get a part of them.
I didn't.
Even after the 10K, I saw the 20K. I was like, I think when it got to 30K, that's when I was like, all right, this is getting a little bit crazy, and it's all happening really fast. I had to slow down just for a second. And then it just, boom, like a ton of bricks that Sunday evening. It was like I did and I'll tell you a little bit about my day that day, because I definitely remember that day. I woke up, and I usually do videos. I try to do some in the morning, some I do in the afternoon here. I know me and my wife, I had to take her to the studio. She had a studio session to get done. Right before I left for the studio, there was a note that came out on the Facebook page that said, you guys asked for it. We're giving it to you. Here's every plan we ever had. Open to you right now. Boom. I literally said, babe, hold on real quick. I gotta do a video. They won't mind if we're a little late. Trust me, we gonna get there in good enough time. We gonna get in and out. Don't worry about it. I gotta do a video real quick.
Yeah.
I got on. I did a video. I go to the studio. Studio time goes as normal. I'm on the way home, and I look on Facebook, and there he is in the middle of his live, red-eyed, kind of tucked away. Just like that, bro. You got it spot on right there, man.
You've all been amazing.
He said, I've been Dylan Carnum.
And yeah, I mocked it. I did.
Oh, man.
And you know, I was just frustrated. I was frustrated.
Bro, just to touch on that real quick, and I'll let you go and talk about that. But when I saw that, I was like, no, my boy RG Trader, he's not crying right now. There's no way. He knows this space. He knows what goes down. And then I saw you were in character there. But I felt you were completely justified in that because, of course, we know we got to get in front of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? When it happens, we have to talk about it, good or bad. That's just a part of this is a part of the life we chose in this online space, especially when we're putting our face out. We've got journeys that we're on, and we all have goals. And the good parts and the bad times, you know, they go hand in hand to getting you to where you need to be and where you want to be.
Of course.
So I felt like even though you knew that you were going to get some backlash on it, the fact that you knew that, one, your name was bigger than this platform, and the people that believe in you are way more important than some fake person that couldn't keep it real about what was going on in his space. You know what I'm saying? I want you to touch on kind of how you were feeling when you decided to make that video, because that video is what really broke the ground on people having an opinion on whether, okay, maybe this is fake, because you know there was a lot of people that had his back right off the jump.
Yeah. And heads or tails, and you know, your mindset can guess and think all sorts, but I did initially think, has this guy been paid to do this role? Is he reading off a script? Wow. Has he learned this script? Has he learned everything in regards to the charts? And he's speaking so analytical that he can keep this repetitive, this mode, this, you know, this character.
Yeah.
And do you know, when I did my second Zoom, I jumped on a second Zoom with my investors, and I felt like, because I jumped in like towards the end of this Zoom. Oh no, it was like part way through it. Sorry, it wasn't towards the end. It was like part way through it. I missed like the first opening introduction of it. But I kind of felt like it was kind of repeated from my first initial Zoom with him.
Yeah.
The way he was speaking about the market and stuff. But obviously I thought the market doesn't change that much. And so I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
But then obviously I tried to get on more Zooms with more investors, and Dylan was less responsive with that. You know, I did touch base, like basically say, yo, bro, like we're 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away from Manchester. Fancy meeting up for a coffee? I said that because I saw him in Starbucks on a video. Yep. So I was like, I can just jump down to Manchester, 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I did. I thought, is this a character? I went right into the depths of my different network, from actors and stuff that I know. Is he connected in any way of any of my other people? Yeah. I went on a website called Act4 TV, where I went to in Manchester, different, you know, acting classes and stuff. I thought, is he an actor? So I did. That's why I did that video. And that I thought, has he portrayed himself to be somebody else? And we've obviously learned that he potentially is called Daniel.
Yeah.
So people can make their own assumptions. People kind of know. We know that people are demanding money. He's giving a certain amount to some people.
Yeah.
you know, I've heard them mention, I've heard that, you know, the authorities are now really getting involved to try and recoup that money. But we are in the crypto space and it's difficult. You know, I remember years ago paying for a holiday that was a scam. A villa, we paid for a villa, and it was this. It even made the local. No, it even made one of the biggest papers over here in the UK.
Yeah.
And I think there was a chancellor that had bought this villa. We bought this villa for a couple of weeks, and it made the paper, and it was a scam.
Wow.
We paid. I think we paid like £1,800 for this villa, me and my family, and we were going to get our own flights out there, and it was a scam. It was this website that looked so real. And mate, I paid with my bank card. My bank paid for it.
Yeah.
And even paying for my bank, I didn't get any of my money back. Do you know what I mean? Because they said where the funds had obviously gone, they'd been moved. We couldn't even trace them. And then that scammer had closed down that bank account.
Right. And and that's talking about banks.
I know.
This is crypto.
I know.
In which transactions can happen in seconds.
So they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and they knew, you know, at the end of the day, that's what they were planning to do. And this was always set out to end this way. They probably didn't anticipate it to end, as soon as it did.
Right.
And it seems like anyone who made any sort of profit was just referrals and bonuses, in my opinion. It's
right.
You know, no one got paid out on the plans, apart from the early 1%, 2%, 3% early in from the get-go.
Yep.
And it's hard to get in the get-go. If you're in at the get-go, then you've struck it.
Yeah.
And there's always someone somewhere who's going to lose, especially if a business runs 8 weeks, 18 months, 2 years, 4 years.
Yep.
Someone loses out at some point.
Any length of time. You know, it can be
None of them
20
last
years.
forever.
It could be 20 years, a generational company that has generations of investors in it, and it gets down to the final leg, and it, you know.
Do you know, BOG, I saw so many people saying, I've never seen results like this. I've never grown a team as fast. I've never had this much referral commission before in like 2 weeks. People were like, you know, I've 700 grand. I think Marty said 700K invested in his downline in 2 or 3 weeks. It's like, you know, they'd not seen it before.
Yeah. I mean, that and that kind of stuff doesn't even happen in platforms that have been around that are doing good things in the communities. You know what I'm saying? People don't get. I mean, last time I checked in the Futurestrade, and I know your team had a big portion of the what's the word I'm looking for? My cumulative team turnover.
Yeah.
Like $2.6 million. And I was just sitting back here like, okay, well, that's just the power of the internet. That's how things can work. That's how things can grow. And when you have people that really believe in something, they put their money behind it. And that's the case with everything that we do. We put our money, time, resources in general behind the things that we really believe in. And it's just
buying a new mic, buying a new camera.
Yeah.
Buying some new speakers.
Look, I mean, look around. This is a completely different setup than
you're investing in yourself.
I had to, because I understood what was happening. I understood the kind of place I was making in this space. And I understood that I was going to be consistent. You know, I had a lot to talk about. I've been having a lot of success, even though some platforms don't last like the Futurestrade. But if mentally I would have took Futurestrade like any other hype, it would have been a success. You state your claim, you plant your flag, as I say. You know, my strategy has always been whatever I put in, that's what's in until I make it back. If I make it back, then I can decide whether I want to go ahead and put more. Futurestrade in what it was, I don't even think I was thinking about putting in 10K until like several people under me put in 10K.
Yeah.
Those referral commissions, and you're like, okay, well, why not?
See, even for me, BOJ, like I put in 11.5 grand and I mulled over that for 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days. I thought about it.
That's a big decision. That's not, you know.
My and it was one of my friend's father died. And on that day, I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to put this in there because I could be dead tomorrow. You know, with my friend losing their father, I just putting it in.
Yeah.
You make these decisions. You've got to make them for yourself.
That's right.
You can't be influenced. You can't, you know, and that is why, you know, your disclaimers are amazing. And I've took them into my videos. I've always put a disclaimer, but, you know, to emphasize, you know,
because the reality of it, people skip over that. A lot of people, they double time. I was talking to this lady the other day. She says, I double time all your videos just to get to the good stuff.
Got you.
Just to get to the batch IDs, just to get to, you know, how much you put in, how much this, how many days, all that disclaimer stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, understand that these disclaimers are that's the most important part. These conversations that we're having, especially in the public space, we understand, and I know you understand, when you talk about things, people move. You know, people start thinking about them in a different way. They start thinking about them the way you think about them. You give them, I've had people tell me, you're like the friend that I have that invests in these things before I do, so that I know if it's something that I should look at or not. People tell me that. So I'm sure people think of you the same way, that you're like the friend that they don't really know, but they know that you can always count on something. You can always count on a transparent conversation about what they're doing, what their journey has been like. And understanding that and being in this space, it holds a great responsibility. Even though we try to defer as much of that responsibility as possible, we do still understand that it comes with that. So that's why those disclaimers are really important. We need people to understand, look, we're all trying to do the same things here. We all want more out of life. That's why we're here. We all want more financially. We all want to do more for our families. We all want to put, you know, those dreams that we've had as we grow up in this world that kind of kills our dreams all the time. You know, the dreams that still linger, we're hungry for them. And we're all in that like mind, and we're all trying to figure out how it is we get to the place where we're the haves and not the have-nots anymore.
Any investment, any opportunity, passive income, buying Shiba Inu, buying Jasmine, Electronium, ICOs, trading, just, you know, do what you got to do. But again, we just say, only invest what you can afford to lose. You know, mate, I've been a massive advocate of this is for example, and you know, I'm calling them out at the minute because I was involved in an app called the football app, TFA, the TFC coin. And I was a content creator for them, how to utilize and use the app, how to buy TFC and so on. And it's listed on a couple of exchanges. They're due to get on bigger exchanges. They're creating NFTs. And, you know, the product is amazing. What they've built as a use case is really, really good. But where I invested at is nowhere where it is now. And I put 5K into it. And now it's down to like £300.
Oh, wow.
You know? But obviously, there's new people seeing that. And obviously, it's at an entry price now where I was buying at 60 cents, 70 cents. It's now at 4 cents. So I thought even at 50, 60 cents when it started, I thought this is going up to $1, $2. But it still might. You know, they're working on things. They're working on, and they're connected with Premier League footballers here in the UK. You know? So everything that they've built from the ground up is pretty amazing. But obviously they need to get listed on bigger exchanges, and they've got NFTs, and they're doing partnerships with certain players in South Africa and things like that. And very, very big. But they need to get listed on bigger exchanges. So, you know, my 5K now is down to that £300, and it's hard. You know, it's hard. You know, I want to see, you know, because I was talking about it all the time. I was bringing it to my channel, and, you know, I hope it does succeed. I really do, because I'm a part of it. And, you know, I just find it difficult to when you're down there and you're seeing them prices now, and you're waiting, anticipating for these exchanges to get listed. As soon as they get listed on HitBTC or Binance or whatever, then boom, I'm going to be talking about it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even stuff like that, that's entering your funds into a cryptocurrency comes at risk. There's risk.
That's right.
And they're even connected with I'll show you the power of it, BOJ. They're connected with a company. Sorry, not a company. They're connected with a football club in Scotland called Livingston Football Club.
I've heard of that football club.
Okay, and you can actually buy tickets, merchandise with the TFC coin. You know what I mean? That's big. Yeah. So they're setting out a roadmap to eventually go to bigger clubs and so on. But I just wanted to use that as a story in, my investment was at 5K and now it's sitting at 300 pounds.
And just like you said, though, it does have the ability to go back up.
It does.
It does have that chance. And one thing that I can kind of compare that to is maybe Dogecoin or XRP. Like when you think about Dogecoin, I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy named Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire here in the States, and he owns the Dallas Mavericks in Texas.
Yep.
And he was the first person to allow Dogecoin to be used as currency at his basketball games.
Yep.
So we know that kind of technology is here, and it's being used. And for a token like that to have the opportunity to represent bigger clubs like the ones in Spain and the ones in the UK, I'm an American football guy, not a global football guy, but
soccer.
I did soccer, right? and it's quite funny because that's the first sport I ever played. The first sport I ever played was soccer, and I've only played it 2 years in my whole life. So, but that speaks to the power of cryptocurrency and what the opportunities are out there for us, but to the risk as well. You know, even the things that seem like the most exciting things, the ones that have the most potential to grow, they go through their ebbs and flows, and sometimes they get to the point where they're not even existent anymore, and we just totally lost, But our belief level is what led us there, and we can't. I don't think we can douse our own belief level just because things that aren't in our control don't work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We still have to have a fervor within us, because if we don't, we could miss out on that thing.
Of course. My friend who introduced me to TFC is a professional footballer.
Yeah.
So he originally comes from obviously Cyprus. So he was playing over there and told me about TFC. And so obviously, because he's one of my friends, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get involved in this.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally right, mate. It's everything. It's all a risk, but hopefully, it'll go back up, and like you've just said, and Ripple and Doge, they have the potential to go way beyond where they are.
Yeah. Yep. And I know I have about 4,000 XRP right now. That was probably the first cryptocurrency that I ever bought, and that was because of my father. My father has been in the cryptocurrency way longer than me, and he's in his 60s. My dad's in his 60s, so it's not just a millennium thing. It's something that's really growing into all age groups. And,
definitely.
And just speaking on how, back when I got in the water mine, I kind of asked him, I said, Dad, is it possible that there's contracts out here that can pay you from crypto staking or something like that? I didn't really understand, but I remember him talking about smart contracts all the time. So I was like, okay, well, is there something out there like this that can do this? And that was a part of me getting into the online space. That's just a little bit of a backstory, but there's just so much. We've talked about Futurestrade.
Yeah, it's been good.
It's escape. We've talked about people actually, some receiving partial refunds, which is something that we never see in hypes. Never see it. When hypes are gone, they're gone. Whatever they got, and most of us already know that. do you believe that it was pressure from real people, not just people familiar with the hype space? Because I think most of us were like, okay, well, it's just any other hype, we're moving on. But when real people, like, and I'm not saying hype people aren't real people, but I'm saying people that aren't in the hype space, their money is involved, and you know, this community of people was built, whether it was had positive intention or negative intention at first. Do you think that put the real pressure to even, because I think that he could have just said, screw everybody, and I'm not giving anything back, whoever this person is.
Yeah.
You think it was that pressure from real people that really kind of allowed that to happen?
I do, BOJ, yeah. And I think it shows the power of people together, because they showcased a real person. If it wasn't a real person, then Marty wouldn't have gone down that route. It would have been just a system that shut its doors, and that's it. It's like, well, who do I contact?
That's right.
So we have so much on Dylan in terms of, you know, the evidence to say that he's not Dylan. Then,
I mean, it got deep. They found out where he worked.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, man, it's getting real on
hot in here.
It's getting yeah. That kitchen got 10, 12 stoves running right now. It's getting super hot. So, I never wish any ill will on anybody. That's one thing that I felt uncomfortable about in this experience, because I don't want to see somebody's life taken. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. We're talking about people's money, and we know a lot less money has caused people to do a lot more things.
Yeah.
So I never wish any ill will. And I was talking to my wife, because you know, she's been watching my videos more frequently now because of all of this that's going on, and
we need the support from our wives.
Oh yeah, man, the support from our wife, because we're like locked in these rooms for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And we're expecting them to keep the door closed. So sometimes you got to let them know, hey, this is what's going on. And of course, they're going to do their own self-research. So shout out to our wives. Shout out to them, because they put up with a lot, especially dealing with us.
Yeah. But my wife, mate, has just been like hooked on your channel recently. Yeah. She's like, oh, I'm not watching no soaps tonight. I'm watching BOJ. What's he, man. What is he bringing to that?
That warmed my heart, man. When you guys hit me on WhatsApp, man. I tell my wife all the time, you never know who's watching and how they feel about what you say and what you do. And that's why being authentic is real, because when people recant, when they recall what you said, you better hope that it was something you really felt, you know, or be ready to tell them the truth right then and there. And one thing I always respected about you is you never have been afraid to get out in front of things. And I feel that, because I'm not afraid either. No. I understand that being truthful and real is what separates us from the rest.
Definitely.
Something as simple as that. It's not money, it's not clout, it's not, you know, you're a pretty attractive dude, my brother. You probably get, you know, more attention than I do on
I used to. Not anymore.
But at the end of the day, there's so many people out here that are just not real people. They're shells of themselves, and it takes really getting to know you. It takes that time. So I always appreciate our interactions. And then, of course, our wives are in similar industries. They're both singers. We're all in the entertainment industry. We were all affected by Corona and the effects on gatherings and events and stuff like that. And now we're in this online space being pioneers. Yeah. We're pioneers, man.
And I want to see more pioneers. I want to see more. I want to see more. And, you know, we can, you know, get more pioneers, and we can start doing some Zooms on YouTube and multiple of us talking about different opportunities, and that way our network can grow even more.
That's right. That's
right. Know, and you've just got to be on the same page. You've got to be on the same page as me and BOJ, and, you know, and anything is possible. Strive for success.
That's right.
That's my motto. And you know, we've got to keep killing it. We've got to keep cranking it.
I keep cranking it.
We've got to lock and load.
That's right.
We've got to lock and load. We've got to put a skin in the game.
That's right. That's right. And I want to get your opinion on this, right? Say you come across a platform. I'm sure people reach out to you and say, hey, you should look at this. You should look at that.
Yeah.
Look at this. And let's say this person doesn't have skin in the game. How do you feel about looking at that opportunity when you see that the person that has shared it with you is not putting their money where their mouth is? How does that make you feel? Because I don't get to ask many people of that question.
Okay, so I'm going to use this as an example. I've been a part of Elevate Pass for 5 months, since August, 6 months. And I'm going to be honest, because it was only paying up to 3% per week, I knew I wasn't going to get my returns fast. So I kind of drip fed it with, you know, $1,500, which is still a good investment, you know. And obviously grow a team and talk about it and build them commission junkie.
That's us, right?
Do you know what I mean? When they need us, when they call for us and they reach us on Telegram, hey, you know, got this. And, you know, I say yes to some and none to others. And yeah, so I understand what you're asking me there, BOJ. And, you know, I always have put funds in to a system and then spoke about it, blogged about it and showed proof of earnings. But also I think I look at the amount of funds that are invested from that leader to kind of get a gathering of, okay, what should I be putting in?
Right.
So, you know, it's all about results. And I've realized that Elevate Pass has been here now for 6 months and it's been paying. And now it's time to lock and load again. And I pumped in some more funds last night, and we're going to be building up to 5K that's invested in there. And, you know, them daily earnings are going to go up, and that way you get your respect from your audience, and therefore the company grows, you know, with that, as well as your own back office.
That's right.
Your own team.
That's right.
So, yeah, obviously you can only kind of replicate, like, go without going like for like what your upline is doing.
Right.
But you know, it's like, you know, it's all about meeting what you can afford to lose, really. But yeah, I'm a massive advocate of it's okay, somebody sending me a link where check this out. But all right, what have you put in? What have you got in? How many is in your team? What you earning on a commission level? What's your daily earnings from your product that you've bought?
Yep.
Don't just send me a link and say, look at this.
You know what's funny about that? As you were talking about that, I was thinking about my network marketing background. And one of the things that we learn in that space is overcoming objection, right? So a lot of people, when you give them an opportunity, or you show them an opportunity, the first thing they're going to ask you is, well, how much money have you made? You know what I'm saying? Well, what's it doing for you? And of course, in the network marketing space, it's not all the time that when you're talking to somebody that you've made any money, because you're trying to make money. That's the whole purpose of talking to them in the first place. You're trying to share with them what you have. And for some people, that's an objection. Like, okay, you're asking me how much money I have. Obviously, I just started. So how do I tell you that I haven't made no money, but it doesn't matter how much money I've made. It's about how much money you can make, or that you want to make. Like you. It's not about me. It's about you, right? So that was one of the things that I learned in that network marketing space of how to overcome that objection. But in this space, it's almost you have to ask that question. Because if you're not seeing results, like with this, you can show results easy. I can pull up my Zoom, you know, I could pull my share screen up, whatever. I can show you what's going on. It's a show me business.
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately business? It's also the NFL, the not for long business. So
it's not forever.
Not forever. You know, And they'll tell you it lasts forever. They'll straight up say this is daily forever. You've seen them, you know. So I say all that to say, like, it's kind of, it's a back and forth thing where you want to be involved in as many paying opportunities as you can handle.
Yeah.
But when you're getting them from random people who won't show you anything, or they want to show you something, but whatever they show you is not what you're trying to achieve from it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go back to Elevate Pass, right? So when you introduced Elevate Pass to me, I was in full on hype mode. I think I had I was hype man that could have been tatted on my chest.
Yeah.
You know? And for me, the growth, like you said, it was just slow. But what I can say is when I put that $500 in and I'm looking 6 months later and it's closer to 1,000, okay, that's great. That's, I mean, almost 50%, almost 200% really, because you're doubling what you put in.
Over time, yeah.
In 6 months. There's not a lot of places you can do that. So sometimes those platforms that may not be the most attractive are the ones that save your butt at the end of the day. They really save your butt, because I can recall a few hypes that I've invested in where I've had to go dip into one of my diversified places and save my ass. I had to save my butt.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm grateful for Elevate Pass now because, one, in the midst of things falling, especially as a YouTuber, a person that's kind of reliant on having content to talk about, the Elevate Pass is still something that I can talk about to this day.
Well, that's it. And you're totally right. Because, you know, Futurestrade has ended. IPC will pay me this week. You know, so as another example, just as another name drop in the big ocean of passive income. And, you know, there's also opportunities. There's also opportunities as well, BOJ, that we've been a part of and then we've not been able to speak about through compliance.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I mean,
but we still earn. We're still earning on, you know, what we've put into the system. So, you know, it's not just about being what team you can grow, because sometimes it's difficult to conduct ourselves and how to get those referrals on YouTube because we're not allowed to speak about it.
Right. That's right.
So diversification is key.
Yes, it is. It's so key. And I heard somebody say, I rather put, if they were speaking on a pot of 10,000, and they said something like, and I'm not even sure, you might have even said this, but I know I heard it from somewhere. They said, I'd rather have 1,010 different things than 10,001 thing. And I was like, bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. Like, even if you just think about that simple formula, if you have 10 opportunities, split up, divvy out, and then let time do its thing. Speak on it as you go through it. Some of the eggs, they're gonna fall by the wayside. Some of the eggs are gonna turn into chickens.
What do you say, BOJ? What do you say?
So what do I say?
You say, I cannot fall in love.
Ha ha! That's right. I only got time for one lover. And she's not on an online platform. She's in here cooking breakfast.
We nearly fall in love. We nearly.
Yeah.
It's almost like lust. It's like, oh my God, this is like amazing, but this isn't going to last.
Yeah.
You can't settle down with this one.
Yep.
You know?
What's the last platform other than Futurestrade that you were like that close to falling in love with?
HYPERFUND.
Yeah. You know what it was for me?
Growly.
Crypto Future.
Okay.
Crypto Future was fantastic.
Yeah, I wasn't in that.
Oh man, it went through a pre-launch phase, and I got on it with Crypto Muscle. It went through a pre-launch phase. It launched out in Dubai or whatever. Had a CEO, Jafar Ribera, the whole nine, all the works. They had conferences, meetings.
Epic.
Epic. They had like Cirque du Soleil performing at their event.
You become a family. Every member becomes a family. It's weird.
Yeah. Yep. Because you're tied to that. You're tied to that common bond. It's for a moment you all are aligned. You know what I'm saying? You all have common goal. You all are talking about the same things, and you know you're looking forward to the same things. It's a community. It's a family, and you know.
I was just gonna say, BOJ. Sorry, like my best men. I had 2 best men at my wedding.
Yeah.
I've got family. I've got friends, and man, I speak to you more than any of them.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Our voice chats on WhatsApp. You know,
I only see them at like christenings and
yeah,
birthdays, and
like I told you, my people don't even know. They don't take my. It wasn't until I gifted 2 of my best friends and my father, like 2 of my brothers. Like just like you said, you had 2 best men. These would be my 2 best men. I gifted them 10K in IPC. I gifted my dad 10K in IPC because I wanted to start putting money back into our house. I have a disabled mother, and he deals with that along with my brother. They're living there. Me and my wife, we moved out. But
same BOJ. I've got a disabled mum as well.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I do a lot for her. Like my father died when I was 16.
Wow.
So
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, nice. It's okay, mate. So I do a lot. I do a lot for my mum.
Yep.
Like my car is, I've got an Audi TT Sport, TFSI, but it's classed as a disabled car. So I've got to get my little old mum this little car with a blue disabled badge. I take her for a shopping. I pick up a prescription. My wife cleans her house.
Yeah.
And mate, I so I can appreciate what you're saying there.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
it's I mean, we're mama's boys. I'd do anything for my mom, man. She's, you know, I'm grateful for the relationship that we had, and she's been in a wheelchair since I was 3. So my whole life has been pretty much predicated on making sure that she's taken care of. And my dad, God bless him, because you know he definitely has been the role model of role models for not only me and my brother, but my friends. My friends call him for advice, and they talk to him about things. And I've been blessed, but to be in this position right now, I know I could not be here without him. So that was important for me. Even if IPC doesn't go, if it goes for another month, that's something that he could earn income on every single week.
I always think about if my dad was here now. Yeah. Because my dad was an entrepreneur. Like my dad, for example, ran. Well, he was a tailor. So he alterations with clothes and suits. Yeah. And above his shop, he had a sunbed shop. So where people went to get suntans and stuff. And he even had an ice cream van that he took out on Sundays.
Really? Really?
Yeah, and he ran a football team. And he did boxing as well. He coached boxing. So he did all them things. Wow. And he was really well thought of in like our community and stuff. Yeah. And you know, with children looking up to him and that. And he was an older dad. I think my dad was 47, 48 when he had me. Wow. Wow. So when he died, he was like 63 and I was only 16. Yeah. So kind of losing my mentor, losing that guide. I lost my way for a long time. Yeah. But I kind of do all this for him because I think if my dad was alive now and he was a younger mindset, he'd love this kind of stuff. He would be like, you know, because he used to like do the pools, you know, like his little betting and stuff and his little gambling and he
wasn't afraid of a little risk.
No, and he never made mega money, BOJ. He didn't, but he just liked having those multiple streams of. Yeah, he was never in the house. He was always doing something.
Yep. Well, you know what they say, busy people get things done.
Yeah.
You know, and he was, I can feel the spirit of him through you, because you have to work, and a lot of people don't understand the entertainment industry.
No,
For
it's
them, it's
tough.
a dream. It's just a dream. It's like, oh my God, you get to do this, nightlife parties, this, that. It's work, bro. Like, people don't understand jumping around for 4 hours. Like, when I tell people that I literally do 4 hour set concerts,
Wow.
straight, like from song to song to song to song. I told my buddy yesterday, I said, imagine all your favorite songs, all of them. Imagine them in a 4 hour pocket of time.
Wow.
Back to 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 back, and they never stop. They stop when that 4 hours is done, or you might get a break in between. And I'm sure for you, like, I mean, not only just the activity of it, but the dangers of it as well. You know, people get beside themselves when we're talking about entertainers. You know,
well,
lose their mind.
my job. I mean, we're getting a bit serious now, BOJ, but it's good. It's good. But my job saved my life, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Moving into the entertainment industry, doing a job that gave me a good feel factor, getting on stage, fire breathing, fire eating, body burning, angle grinding, dancing.
Wow.
Kind of saved my life, because before that I wasn't in a good place, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, so that line of work definitely just saved me. I had a bit of a drink problem when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know, I started drinking strong stuff at a very young age, and other things got involved. And I lived like a lifestyle around certain celebrities and things with girls, and it just became a slippery slope, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I had to break free from that, and I found the entertainment industry, because that kind of got me away from that lifestyle, and I was working at weekends.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, the entertainment industry has been my backbone of the new me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And it's one of them businesses now where obviously I'm not a performer anymore, but I've got a team of people that I book out.
Yep.
And I don't get a good feel factor from it anymore, because I'm just an agent. I'm just a middleman.
Yeah, you're not in the middle of the mix anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And so with COVID and everything, I am ready to let go of my entertainment company. I am. And I've not broadcasted that on my, you know, my website, or I've got I have another Facebook page where I'm connected with all these entertainers and stuff.
Yep.
But I am ready to, I don't know when it'll be, but it's because of the love for it is kind of, you know, gone, because I'm not a performer. My love has become this kind of stuff now, because this is what makes me feel good. And even in the space where we've not been feeling so good recently because of Futurestrade, I am going to see good things come from it. And you can see that already, you know, with what Marty's doing. And
shout out to Marty, by the way.
Marty Glover. Awesome. So yeah, I just went a bit serious then, but it's true.
Man, I feel that. And I feel like a lot of entertainers, a lot of musicians, a lot of performers, we all feel that way. You know, I know countless musicians that have tell you that music saved their life, even before they knew how to play, before they could express their feelings through an instrument, you know, or their voice or their body movements or whatever the case may be. It took them from something. It gave them purpose. You know, it gave them, if it was just the minimum of something to do other than what they were doing, you know. I remember you sent me that picture, bro. I was like, this dude is legit. I don't even want fire that close to my face. Is that a heart?
Yeah.
So there's got to be some kind of, is there a technique? There's got to be some kind of technique to that, because in my mind, you're flat out about to burn your face down.
Literally, that's what you do. And it's got a sell-by date, trust me. And that's sell-by date happened. Yeah.
Were you able to maintain facial hair doing that?
Just got singed. So I used to just trim it.
Oh my goodness.
It
That
just
is
got to
amazing, bro. I can't say that I'll ever do fire breathing.
no.
I don't
My
think
wife
that's in
won't
the
let me
cards for
anymore.
me.
Or my mum.
I don't think
My
that's in
mum
the
was
cards
like,
for
"Oh
me.
my God, how many gigs have you got this weekend?" She used to hate it. But like I said, it saved my life. And I used to
Yeah.
think, "Oh my God, I'm getting paid for doing this.
Yep. Yep.
I'm getting paid for doing it."
It's crazy.
Mm.
But it's the life that we live, man. Listen, I don't know how much time you got, but I
Well,
wanted to make sure that I thanked you
yeah,
for just one, your transparency in this space, because you know how I roll. We keep it real over here, and anybody that keeps it real in this space, as hard as it may seem to do, it really isn't that hard if you're a stand-up person. And one thing I appreciate about you is it's never been that hard for you to be honest. And I appreciate that about you, bro. And I want to give you your flowers while I can, because like you said, sometimes sometimes it's the death of others and their families that make us reflect and make decisions. And that's not always a bad thing, because we have to also keep in mind that tomorrow isn't promised for any of us. Like,
no,
these platforms can be here today and gone tomorrow. So can we.
yeah,
And how will we be remembered when that day comes? Because it's promised. It's promised to us that our days will end here on this earth, man. And
definitely.
it's about what you leave behind. And this is legacy building for us. I firmly believe that. Whatever happens in any platform that we ever come across in this space, this is a legacy that we're building here on this online space. Pretty soon, I was listening to somebody talking about NFTs, right? YouTube is going to allow its content creators to be able to host NFTs through YouTube.
Wow.
So this is literally legacy that we're building right now. Us on here on the tube together, on Zoom together.
I would
This could
love
be
this
an
video,
NFT.
BOJ, to be your most. I would love this video to be your most viewed, the most thumbs up, and the most comments. So, guys, you know what you need to do.
You know what you need to do. That's right. Y'all need to make sure you like this video, comment on this video, let everybody know how much you love this interaction, and follow the RLG Trader, G Trader himself. Make sure you give him a follow. This video is going up first on the docket today, buddy. It's going up as soon as this goes down. Send me your logo so I can throw a thumbnail together and put it on out there, man. And we got to do this more often.
Yeah,
let's find.
I want to thank you as well, BOJ, for everything that you've done for me, and obviously the community and YouTube. All your content is amazing. The upgrade of your camera and your mic and your studio, you're constantly taking it to new levels.
Thank you, brother.
And listen, you've got I can tell as well that you're a guy who wears his heart on the sleeve, and you're fully transparent.
Yeah.
And just a lot of peace, a lot of love. And I'm gonna make it how can I put this? I'm gonna make it part of my journey to come and visit you one day.
Yes, sir. And I got to get out there to the UK too, man. Keep me safe. Keep me safe, but I'm coming. I wanna experience different parts of the world, and that's what this is about, man. This is to have this opportunity to network with somebody from. I love saying across the pond now. Ever since I heard that, I'm like, yo, that's cool. That's so cool. The NFL plays over there now. So I'm sure my Washington football team, whatever I don't know if you follow American football, but
DC United, isn't it?
DC United, right?
DC United,
right down the street.
So Wayne Rooney, obviously, I'm a massive Everton fan.
Yeah, he was here for a little while.
Yeah, so Wayne Rooney was there for a while, and I followed him, watched his games.
Are you familiar with the name Freddie Adu?
No.
This is back when I was a youngin', but he played pro soccer, I think at like 14, and I know that he traveled the world and different stuff like that. But that's one of the few soccer names that I know, so I thought I'd throw that out there. Cool. But yeah, man, thank you so much for your time, man. It's been a pleasure. We got a lot more to talk about, and we'll get into it. But I just want to thank you for your time today, and let's definitely do this again. Everybody, share this video. If there's anything that we missed, because I know we got into just talking in bro time, man, but for those of you that are out there, and if there's anything that you want to know from either of us, feel free to ask in the comment section. We'll both be monitoring that, and we'll try to answer that in the best way that we can. All right?
Peace out.
Peace out, my brother. Good talking to you. Good seeing you. And we'll be talking soon, man.